Just all I know is that there's ethnic cleansing going on right now, and you're either with the ethnic cleansers or you're against them.
Gotcha.
So I don't want to take sides, but it's kind of, my family's Jewish and Native American, so like we've already been genocided recently. Actually, right now, 10 times more likely, Native American women are 10 times more likely to be killed.
It's about pulling out her
Well, folks, I'm behind the police line. So the march is over there, and the police line is over here. So, oops, there goes the light again. I don't know if you guys heard that. The dad back there is trying to comfort his son because his son is in fear over the police. So you can see they don't have zip ties on. Since they don't have zip ties on, you can tell there's so this is mixed sheriff's department, probably police department. But I don't know if you noticed, but those folks who were just over there talking to him, he's got the classic white pride spiderweb on his elbow. So there's a high likelihood that these guys are Proud Boys here. So again, you can see these guys aren't carrying large amounts of zip ties. So there's only a few people with zip ties on. That means they're not actually a mass arrest crew. The mass arrest crew is going to have a bunch of zip ties all over them, and they'll also have a bus. So the bus, permits them to do mass arrests. So they'll have a big school bus with a whole bunch of seats in it. They'll have multiples of them when they're ready to do a mass arrest. But you can see there's no zip ties on these guys. They don't have the bus down here. So it's a high likelihood they're not doing mass arrests. So the protest got way ahead of me because I was staying behind the police line, and now the police just engaged their sirens to try and catch up. So they're pulling way ahead of me.
They're gonna stop. They're gonna close him out. Bro, they ain't fucking around. Bro, they fucking shoot me.
All right, so just trying to catch up with the police line here, try and keep them in my line of sight. If I can keep the police line in my line of sight, I'll probably be able to catch up to the protesters here. Again, I don't know if you guys saw a moment ago, there were a couple of guys talking to the police, and one of the guys had the classic spider web tattoo that's associated with white pride movement. So it's hard for me to say conclusively that those two people were white supremacists, but it's a pretty high likelihood that that's the case. So I'm just trying to catch back up to the protest in the police line here. I don't want to get kettled in case they try and kettle people. So a lot of times in these situations, they have plainclothes cops walking the street somewhere, and see if we can spot any of those plainclothes cops.
Fucking go.
All right, catching up with the protest line here. There goes the donut munchers. So the
This is the Portland Police Bureau. This is an unpermitted march. All streets and avenues are open to vehicular traffic. You are not allowed to block or impede traffic. If you enter or remain on the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct, interfering with a police officer, and other states and city offenses. If you remain on the roadway, you will intend to engage in physical resistance or removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to use force, including right controlling and anti weapons. Move to the sidewalks and vacate the street now.
Don't turn yourself in! Try to get spanned!
This is the Portland Police Bureau. This is an unpermitted march. All streets and avenues are open to vehicular traffic. You are not allowed to block or impede traffic. Vacate the roadway and proceed to the sidewalk. If you enter or remain in the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct, interfering with a police officer, and other state and city offenses. If you remain in the roadway and show the intent to engage in physical resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to use force, including riot control agents and attack weapons. Move to the sidewalks and vacate the street now.
Do something about it, fascists!
This is the Portland Police Bureau. This is an unpermitted march, and all streets and avenues are open to vehicular traffic. You are not allowed to block or impede traffic. You must vacate the roadway and proceed to the sidewalk. If you enter or remain in the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct, interfering with a police officer, and other state and city offenses. If you remain in the roadway and show the intent to engage in physical resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to use force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalks and vacate the street now.
There goes the National Lawyers Guild. National Lawyers Guild is typically involved in situations where it's anticipated that the civil rights of the people will be violated. So for those of you who have been following along, the Portland Police Bureau,
This is an unpermitted march. All streets and avenues are open to vehicular traffic. You are not allowed to block or impede traffic. You must vacate the roadway and proceed to the sidewalk. If you enter or remain in the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct, interfering with a police officer, and other state and city offenses. If you remain in the roadway and show the intent to engage in physical resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to use force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalks and vacate the street now.
so the Portland Police Bureau is well known for violating people's civil rights. They've been investigated by the Justice Department multiple times for use of force against people who are mentally handicapped, and also for racial profiling, and also for corruption, because they were found to be corrupt. So the Portland Police Bureau you know, they have a really bad track record around here for human rights abuses. Plus, recently the Portland Police Bureau was found to be in bed with the Proud Boys. So they're associated with racism. Portland Police Bureau is straight up associated with racists. There's no two ways about it. So there's definitely, you know, in my opinion, the Portland Police Bureau is not to be trusted. They bear false witness. They don't you know, they don't use appropriate levels of force. You know, they shoot people in the head with concussion grenades. So the Portland Police Bureau, they're not a good bureau. They're a horrible bureau. So far, I haven't seen any of the mass arrest buses, but also, I haven't seen any mass arrest squads. Typically what happens is these situations, they have mass arrest squads, and those mass arrest squads will come out with a whole bunch of zip ties and paddy wagons and do a huge operation where they take a bunch of people into custody. So I haven't seen any of those. That doesn't mean they're not here, but as far as I haven't witnessed them. So you can see that's not a squad, it's just 3 vehicles, but it's probably in place for this squad right down here in case they have to do an arrest. So here comes a whole squad right here. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever lived in a police state, but I'm pretty sure that's what it looks like. So you see on the one officer, I think he's probably the commander, he has the zip ties on. And then so they're in the light armor today. They don't have the shoulder pads, they don't have the shin pads, they don't have the elbow guards. These guys are not ready for heavy duty fighting, which is good because that means they're pretty much on par with the foot soldiers when it comes to being light infantry. They're not heavy infantry at that point. So I guess whatever's going on, it must be winding up if they're sending the squads out. Either that or they're sending that squad somewhere else to do an arrest. I don't think they're sending it to do an arrest. Those guys would have a little bit more urgency if they were going to arrest people. So right up here is Pioneer Courthouse Square, which is where the Proud Boys were allegedly meeting. Might still be here. So there's one squad right there. Again, they don't have the elbow pads, shin pads, shoulder pads. These guys are not decked out in heavy riot gear. They're light duty. And what this effectively does is it makes them on the same ground as the protesters. Because if they're wearing heavy duty armor, they can't quite move as quickly. It makes it so they're a little bit, they're more mobile in this dress without the shin pads, without the knee guards, without the shoulder pads, without the elbow pads. They're more mobile. They can get around more quickly. So
yeah, but they also get hurt.
They don't have feelings.
Everybody does.
What? These guys have feelings?
I guarantee you 100% of Portlanders that were cops would do the same fucking shit. You know why? Never mind.
I was listening. I wasn't trying to interrupt.
No, I'm just saying. Everybody would be, I guarantee you, these people out here that are protesting, if they became cops, they're not going to sit back and go, I'm a good cop. No.
Didn't the cops just do that last year?
I don't know.
They did. They had a thing where they got called out to something and were like, no, we're not going out.
That's because of the mayor.
Well, I mean,
The mayor told them not to because they didn't want to get in trouble again.
well, they have been in trouble a lot.
If I was a cop, are you going to sit back and let people throw shit at you and do shit to you?
I think as a cop, you have a certain different level of responsibility than a regular civilian to maintain the peace. It's actually in their name in a lot of municipalities, peace officer. So I think that as long as they can maintain a certain level of civility and decorum, then yes, fight back. But like,
if somebody tells you to get out of the street 15 times and you're still in the street and they go after you and then you cry, oh man, they were doing it all horse, it's your fault.
well, the Constitution kind of protects peaceful assembly. So whether or not you support the Constitution, I think is where that comes down, and that's why a lot of times they don't go full out fascist violent like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So whatever is happening, it is no longer happening at Pioneer Courthouse Square because the goons have left, and I think that the Patriot Proud Boys have left. I have a feeling that this might have all just ended peacefully. Not sure, but I bet that these guys are the predatory media, high paid people. You can tell by the fancy haircut and expensive equipment, private security guard. There's the mall police over here. This guy's the mall police, so he's a mall cop. And then these are the Patriot Prayer guys. So these are the people who are in favor of ethnic cleansing. They're here because they want to eliminate, people who might be alternative lifestyles, whether they're, refugees, migrants, immigrants, people who are potentially gay or non-Christian. So look here.
They are the most cowardly, annoying assholes you've never seen. And I don't want any of you to ask me tonight. Okay? Ask me. One way forward.
Taking a look, see if I see any weapons in the crowd.
Show love. Show it.
What's going on with these people? It takes a lot of donuts to make that person go. Holy smokes. Guess these guys are Portland Police Bureau. So those ones look like maybe they're commanders. Could be. They're not carrying it. They're not decked out in bulletproof vests. They're not carrying billy clubs. They don't have any kind of riot patrol gear on at all. These ones are just straight officers. So that's what gives the impression they might be. What do you call it? It might be. Commanders. They might be commanders. See if we can spot any of the plainclothes cops. There's always plainclothes cops in situations like this, so just walk around for a minute here. See if we can spot the guys. Typically, the plainclothes cops are also wearing bulletproof vests and carrying weapons, so they're pretty easy to pick out of a crowd. Also, plainclothes cops have a very distinctive posture. They have a body language when you're a plainclothes cop. You get used to standing with your hands on your hip carrying your hands on your gun belt, and it just makes it so that, you know, they're easy to pick out in a crowd. So these types of events, I like to go around and see if I can find the plainclothes cops. I'm not sure if you guys can tell from this distance, but those Proud Boys, they are white. There's not a lot of people of color in that crowd. It's very saltine or Wonder Bread. Take your pick, but it's not a very diverse crowd of hate-filled people. Try and find the plainclothes cops. I know that they're here. Of course, they don't really have to put plainclothes ones since they have just straight up goons all the way dressed in full riot gear. Actually, they weren't in full riot gear. They were just in bulletproof vests. Let's just take a walk around here and see what it looks like. Definitely seeing you know, it's one of these situations where it's really tense. There are a lot of people from both sides that are like me, that are kind of dispersed. They're not right down there in the center of it trying to face off and yell at each other. So like all around here, there's like dispersed anti-fascists and fascists that are just like kind of all spread out. And so you see them with like whether they're wearing gas masks or whether they're wearing you know, goggles, or straight up like hate propaganda. I love the fact that this dude on the tall bike is trolling him. That's great. Plus the two compatriots that are out there with him too. They're just straight up trolling the Patriot Prayer. So this is Pioneer Courthouse Square. Right there is Pioneer Courthouse. When it was the time of Occupy Wall Street, this Occupy Portland was in here for a while. It's where we held our general assemblies. It's the Patriot Prayer, or the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys. It's if you type Proud Boys into Facebook, it'll say this is a group that's known to be associated with violence and extreme hate.
Oh, really? White supremacists and nationalists.
Yeah. So if you search for them, then like they're actually. I think that this.
Adams is the blog right there. She's heading this movement right now. It's called Him Too Movement. It's a rape apologist movement right now. Who's giving like men's rights. So it's kind of in your face to women's rights. It's in your face to Black Lives Matter. A lot of them are thin blue line guys. A lot of them are white supremacist nationalists. guys. Kind of all anti-gay, anti-black, anti-everything.
They're the people who want ethnic cleansing in the United States.
Yep, they want
That's the way that
genocide, and they want white power.
femicide too. Yeah. I've been trying to put it in that context because it's important to understand that there are people in the country that currently want ethnic cleansing.
Exactly.
They actually want ethnic cleansing, and so it's hard to put it in context where it's like extreme enough to say these are the people who actually want to go around and kill other people. But that's basically who those people are. Yeah. And that's why there were a whole bunch of Antifa around, is because they don't think that we should have ethnic cleansing. You know, I hate to say it like this, but I think those people are bro flakes. They look extremely fragile. They look like they could be broken easily. Go around the perimeter here again. I think that the Antifa have really just left the scene, or like very much dispersed. That's what's going on, is that the Antifa have just very much dispersed. So there is no direct like head-to-head going on right now. I guess a lot of them went and marched, and then after the march have kind of separated a little bit, but there still is a pretty serious presence like all throughout the blocks here. So it's not at a situation where they've kind of rushed in to confront the hate group, but they're all around. There's like people with masks, people with bandanas, you know, there's medics. There's all kinds of people here who are prepared in case the fascists decide to turn violent, which, you know, they tend to do. So, see.
It works for me.
This is what a tight core group looks like. If your core group is this tight, then you're some bad motherfuckers. I just gotta say that right now. They're like, what? We are anti-fascist as fuck. I love that. Full on troll. None of the fascists are taking the bait. That's a weapon. That person's carrying a stick for smacking people with. That's what they're twisting their flag up on right now. That's a baton. You guys are talking. Let's see what you're saying here. Thank you for being here. What's up, cousin? Shout out to anybody out there trolling. Glad you're here. Take the time to give me a few views on here. I will pray for you. Just grow up and have a set of balls for mankind and the proud men I see. That's fair. You're very, very true there, Mr. Spinster. That's a fair point, but it's not that way in Oakland. You can go to Oakland and say that. You know that's not true. There's ethnic cleansing currently happening. There's ethnic cleansing happening. There's concentration camps. The cops are shooting black people in the street. Don't be confused. I do appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in. You know, you could be doing anything else with your time right now. And since my channel is a monetized channel, then your views equate nickels for me. So thanks for that. If you feel like sending a few tokens my way, I do accept Google Pay and PayPal and all that sort of thing. I'll put some links in the header and in the comments. In case you feel like sending any donations my way, I welcome them. Oh, here come the guys with sticks. I guess the Antifa's coming back.
This is the Portland Police Bureau. This is a permitted march. All streets and avenues are open to vehicular traffic. You are not allowed to block or impede traffic. You must vacate the roadway and proceed to the sidewalk. If you enter or remain on the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct, interfering with a police officer, and other same city offenses. If you remain on the roadway, show intent to engage in physical resistance or removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to use force, including riot control agents and attack weapons. Move to the sidewalks and vacate the street.
There's some families with their children. Here come the ethnic cleansers. The ethnic cleansers are coming. These are the people you got to watch out for. They're the hate-filled. There's the predatory media. Here comes the predatory media. Dang, everybody's rushing over here. It's about to get interesting. Predatory media. Here come there goes some donut munchers. There's some more bro flakes. There goes the Antifa over there. They're crossing.
Put him over this way, I'd be worried. Yeah, I see him. The other side.
So if you notice, the Portland Police Bureau have their backs turned to the fascists. So on this side of the line, you have the ethnic cleansers and the fascists. And then the Portland Police Bureau have their back turned to them. And then on the other side, you have the fascists, the anti-fascists. So the Portland Police Bureau is actively protecting the fascists. It's
How
crazy.
do you define fascist, sir? I'm just curious.
Fascist is somebody who advocates for ethnic cleansing. But also someone who subverts rights. You know, I think that I would say both sides have an accurate definition of fascist, because someone who deprives someone else of their right would also be that. So, like, say for instance, you wanted guns, and I came and took your gun, then that would be a fascist thing too.
Okay.
Yeah.
People who want to impose their will on other people.
Well, in circumvention of freedom. Yeah, I mean it's not. I actually think freedom's important. Like that's why I'm here.
I'm hearing a lot on both sides of this debate that the people who are fomenting the disagreement have an agenda that is united sort of the big corporate rich people against the people in general.
That's fair.
All separated.
That's fair.
And the police, at least at the top, are being manipulated by the corporate interests, even if the bottom doesn't want them to be.
Here's another squad they got ready to rush in over here. So
Because they know that this group is why those other group is coming here. So
they all want to fight each other.
yeah,
But including these guys, I mean, it just came out that they're tipping off the white supremacists.
I haven't seen any white supremacists here openly yet.
Well, there's already gang markings. So there's gang. If you're familiar with prison culture,
Yeah,
then there's
what are the signs that I need to be looking for? I
Well-
am familiar with prison culture, but not on the West Coast.
well, if you do a little bit of research on it, you can find
Or signs like the OK sign thing.
more like SS or swastikas or
Right,
there's
so that
there's more of the ones that are directly associated with ethnic cleansing.
what would they call it, like the skinhead type?
I mean, those
What do they call the groups in the prison?
It depends on which group you're talking about. There's all kinds, it's not whether it's I mean, there's knuckleheads and there's skinheads and there's boneheads. So there's all kinds of heads. It's just I don't know. Slip past you guys for me.
Both groups they're running around outside this
All right, so they have a line over here, and then they have the backup over here. And actually now, oh no, those are transports. I haven't seen an arrest bus yet, but I know there's arrest buses.
Sidewalks and vacate the street now.
Comes another couple squads.
This is the 4th Police Bureau. This is an unpermitted march. All streets and avenues are open to the vehicular traffic. You are not allowed to block or impede traffic. You must vacate the roadway and proceed to the sidewalk. Who do you protect? Who do you protect? Who do you protect? Who do you protect? With a police officer and other state and city offenses. If you remain in the roadway and show the intent to engage in physical resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances
There's a
require,
commander right here.
you may be subject to use force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalks and vacate the street now.
Everybody need to back up. Back up, please. Please back up. Keep moving. You're doing good. Back it up. Right now, the front of the sidewalk is closed. We need you to back up. Keep going. Back up a little bit more. Come on, people. Go. I'm not being mean. Just doing my job. Let's go. Back it up.
You are not allowed to block
Go.
or
Back it up. A little bit more.
vacate the roadway
Come on.
and proceed to the sidewalk.
You just say when. I'll keep backing up.
Keep backing up. Back up a little bit more. Come on.
Arrest for
Back up.
disorderly conduct, interfering with a police officer, and other state and city offenses. If you remain in the roadway and show the intent to engage in physical resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to use force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalk.
10 more feet that way. Let's go. 10 more feet. Let's move it, please. Thank you. 10 more feet. Come on, man.
This is an unpermitted march. All streets and avenues are open to the vehicular traffic.
Everybody back up. No closer than that. Right there.
These people are against ethnic cleansing, and those people are for ethnic cleansing. So those guys are for killing people of color, for killing immigrants, for killing Muslims. They're the hate people. These are the people who are out here trying to stop the hate people.
Keep moving back.
If you search Proud Boys on Facebook, if you search it on Facebook, it'll say this is a known hate group that's associated with violence. They've been associated with like 3 murders already this year, and there were murders of people of color and trans people.
This guy had a fly, and we were having a good conversation. Can I get a photo with you and stuff like that?
They were trying to tokenize you.
I had a feeling. I had it that easy, but you know, just being skeptical. I had a feeling. I heard it like back in how people
You know when the Max is coming?
So over here, I was trying to keep an eye on where the media is. So the media is right over there. So I just noticed that the media moved over here to the other side. See him over there?
Makes sense to think.
These are the guys who are going to be responsible for lying to the public. Must suck to have no journalistic ethics.
This is a supervision march. All streets and avenues are open to vehicular traffic. You are not allowed to walk or impede traffic. You must vacate the roadway and proceed to the sidewalk. If you enter or remain in the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct.
They're bringing in the heavies. See, look, these are the guys with the shin guards on. They got the shin guards and the batons.
For resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to force, including riot controllations and attack weapons. Move to the sidewalk and vacate the street now.
So they just brought in the guys with the sticks and the shin guards. So those are the people that they use for actually hitting other people. And now they're pulling back the yellow vests. So the people who hold the crowd back are being pulled back. That means they're about to start swinging. So again, Portland Police Bureau looks like they're about to deploy violence. There's people sitting down on the ground. So typically in these situations, what they'll say is violence broke out at a peaceful protest, or violence, a protest turned violent today. But what the cowards in the media won't say is the police took the first swing, because they don't have any integrity. They don't have any media ethics. I know it's not your fault. Your producer tells you what to say. I'd do the same thing for money if I was cheap. Hey, I just understand the difference between free speech and corporate speech. And with corporate speech comes corporate profits. Your speech isn't protected free speech, it's corporate speech. Keep moving, corporatist. So you see the cop over there with a stick that has a camera on top of it? Those cameras are very specialized cameras. The specialized cameras like that, they can do facial recognition. So along with doing geotagging, that camera can identify people in the crowd who might be leaders or might be known, have warrants. And that camera is very, very specialized camera. You gotta watch out for this sort of technology. So this guy here with a camera on a stick, that camera is a very specialized camera. So what'll happen is it'll be sending information back to a command center. The command center will identify someone in the crowd, and then they'll deploy a snatch and grab team to go in and grab the person. That's what fascism looks like.
So they try to take out the cell leader and what they see it as.
They have a very narrow definition. Actually, their definition is very broad, but they have a definition of terrorism that allows them to attack. Exactly. That's exactly right.
So you said there was violence earlier today?
No, not that I know of. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen. The Patriot Prayer, I think they're associated with like 3 murders this year already.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and there should be no free, I hate them limiting this. They should not be here like this. The police.
Well, you know what I see this as? You remember Heather Heyer? You know who Heather Heyer was? Heather Heyer was a woman in North Carolina that got ran over by a white supremacist, and she died. Heather Heyer, I feel like, is one of the deaths in the Civil War. This is a civil war now. The white supremacists are hate-filled and they're killing people.
This is the Portland Police Bureau. Southwest.
And the police are standing in between the murderers and the ones who want to stop murderers.
Please clear the roadway so mass public transportation can use the street. If you are entering the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct, interfering with a police officer, and other state and city offenses. If you remain in the roadway and show the intent to engage physical resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to use of force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalk and clear the street now.
All right.
This is the Portland Police Bureau.
Here comes another squad with sticks.
Morrison is open to vehicular traffic.
Here comes another squad with sticks.
March, and you are impacting pedestrian and mass traffic. Please clear the roadway so mass public transportation can use the street. If you remain
All of these guys have webcams on their hat, though. The other ones did not.
If you remain in the roadway and show the intent to engage physical resistance to removal, or
they don't have webcams on their hat. I don't know what the hell that is.
Use of force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalk and clear the street now. This is the 4th Police Bureau. Southwest Morrison is open to vehicular traffic. This is an unpermitted march and you are impacting pedestrian and max traffic. Please
So
clear the
pepper ball
roadway
gun,
so max
pepper ball gun.
can use the street. If you remain or enter the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct.
Those pouches, those are their gas masks. In case they have to put on a gas mask, they carry their gas mask in those pouches.
Removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to use of force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalk and clear the street now.
So if you're just tuning in, what's happening here is the Portland Police Bureau are standing in between the anti-fascists and the fascists. So over here on this far side of the street, you have the people who are associated with different anti-fascist groups, whether they're Antifa or street medics, or maybe they're part of some sort of LGBTQ migrant groups, Black Lives Matter, basically everyone who isn't a serious bro flake that has any type of ethnicity or desire for a more diverse America is kind of over there. Dumbasses! And then over here on this side we have a combination of
cops, get out of the road!
Of media, mainstream media. Also the Patriot Prayer Group was over here, but I don't see them all anymore.
Yeah, they all ran off.
So Patriot Prayer Group was here, but it looks like they have since headed off. Or maybe it was the Proud Boys. I forget. All white people look the same to me. I don't know why. Do appreciate everybody for tuning in. Just see what you guys are saying here for a minute. It's interesting how many of the bro flakes found my feed. Bro flakes, I am sorry that your fragility is being hurt by this action. Just toughen up a little bit. Toughen up a little bit, you'll be able to handle it. So you can see they got their sticks out in case they need to thwap anybody. Got gloves on. Those are heavy gloves. Check those ones out. Those are some nice heavy gloves. Those are actually gloves for hitting. They got weights in the knuckle for extra swinging power. That's not cool, bro. You got punching gloves. That dude's mean. He came down here to hit people. You can see the difference. Look at those gloves. See those gloves? And then those gloves don't have the heavy metal on them. But these gloves do have the heavy metal on them.
That's padding, not metal.
Bro, those are weighted gloves.
You're inciting violence.
Those are weighted gloves. Oh, my friend got his feelings hurt.
Don't lie about the
So it looks like they're not going to be swinging their clubs. They're staying peaceful for the most part, even though they have their clubs out, trying to de-escalate the situation. So far, no one's been shot up. There's no tear gas in the air. There aren't any sound cannons. I haven't seen the Bearcats. There's no water cannons. And as far as I can tell, it's remained peaceful. Oh, interesting. Look at these guys. These guys are federal. Homeland Security. So this squad is actually a federal squad. That's very interesting. So over here, that squad is Portland Police Bureau, but this squad is the Department of Homeland Security. So then somewhere, let's see, that squad is the Sheriff's Department, and let's see, you can kind of tell there's a whole bunch of mixed squads all through here. I think those guys in the gray might be National Guard, it's hard to tell. But typically in these situations, they call out the Joint Task Force. So there'll be a mixture, alphabet soup mixture, whether it's FBI, DEA, ATF, CIA. That's why you see a broad coalition of different forces here, is because they called out the Joint Task Force.
It was open to traffic! Fucking open the road, pig!
Oh, they're drawing up their battle plans. So it's the Portland police who look like they're about to move in. The Department of Homeland Security is standing by. The Sheriff's Department is standing by. But they're going to shove in the Portland Police Department. Wow, look at the access they're giving to that reporter. See, that's what you call an embedded reporter. All right, they're sending in some people. I think they're sending in maybe snatch and grab is what that is. They'll probably try and grab the driver.
This is the Portland Police Bureau. The driver of the white U-Haul truck. You need to disable your sound equipment and leave Southwest Forest to the east. You need to clear your roadway and disable your sound equipment. This is for the driver of the white U-Haul truck at Southwest Forest and Southwest 6th Avenue. This is the Portland Police Bureau. The driver of the white U-Haul truck. You need to disable your sound equipment and leave Southwest Forest to the east. You need to clear the roadway and disable your sound equipment. This is for the driver of the white U-Haul truck at Southwest Forest and Southwest 6th Avenue. This is the Portland Police Bureau. The driver of the white U-Haul truck.
You can almost smell the steroids and desperation. Holy crap, these cops are freaking stupid looking.
This is for the driver of the white U-Haul truck at Southwest Forest and Southwest 6th Avenue. This is the Portland Police Bureau. The driver of the white U-Haul truck. You need to disable your sound equipment and leave Southwest Forest to the east. You need to clear the roadway and disable your sound equipment. This is for the driver of the white U-Haul truck at Southwest Forest and Southwest 6th Avenue.
So this posture right here, you'll see, is a ubiquitous posture for law enforcement all around the country, around the world. What happens is those belts are really heavy and they end up giving him back problems. So this dude, probably his lower back is probably hurting him right now. And that's why he's holding his gun belt like that. Wish I could see that person's badge. It's hard to tell if they're fire department or National Guard or what that badge says on it. I think it's fire department. He looks like he has a fire department badge on. Oh, look, he's carrying a fire extinguisher. He's definitely a fireman. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the firemen are now on the lines in battle gear. They're not carrying weapons to their... Oh no, they have a weapon. They have a taser. That's crazy. We've arrived at that time in the United States history where the firemen are on the line with tasers. They're labeled medic, but they're carrying weapons. I've been checking on what you folks are saying every now and again, so please keep chatting. Fire extinguisher would make a good weapon. A good commie is a dead commie. Interesting. Just let all the commies in Portland burn, sweep away the contaminated ashes, and start over. I don't know. I don't think I'm down with that, you guys. I think you're gonna have to come up with a better plan than that one. It lacks a certain intellect, but I'm sure you can do better. I'm glad you're listening. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for commenting. You know, I normally don't ask for shares, but if you want to, share this out, put it on your Facebook. There goes one squad. Bye, Portland Police Bureau.
This is an unpermitted march. Southwest Morrison is open to vehicular traffic. You are not allowed to block or impede traffic or...
Two squads. That's not one squad, that's two.
You must immediately vacate the roadway and proceed to the sidewalk. If you enter or remain in the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct, interfering with a police officer, and other state and city offenses. If you remain in the roadway and show the intent to engage in physical resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to uses of force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalk now. This is the Portland Police Bureau. This is an unpermitted march. Southwest Morrison is open to vehicular traffic. You are not allowed to block or impede traffic or public transportation. You must immediately vacate the roadway and proceed to the sidewalk. If you enter or remain in the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct, interfering with the police.
So the anti-fascists are on the move again, and so are the donut munchers.
Physical resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to uses of force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalk now.
Excuse me, sorry.
Okay.
This is the Portland Police Bureau. This is an unpermitted march. Southwest Morrison is open to vehicular traffic. You are not allowed to block or impede traffic or public transportation. You must immediately vacate the roadway and proceed to the sidewalk. If you enter or remain in the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct, interfering with a police officer, and other state and city offenses. If you remain in the roadway, you should be intent to engage in physical resistance or removal, where emergency circumstances require. You may be subject to use of force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalk now.
Sorry guys, just getting a little bit parched here. All right, here come the refreshed bicycle cops.
Stay together though.
So I hate to say it like this, but you know, what's going on here is clearly a case of fascists versus anti-fascists. So there's two groups of people essentially that are involved. There are the people who want ethnic cleansing, and there are the people who don't want ethnic cleansing. So here are the ethnic cleansers over here. These are the people who want, you know, they're the kind of white power people that you would expect at like a Klan rally or another kind of hate group rally. And then over here are the anti-fascists, the people who don't want ethnic cleansing in the United States. They want minorities, they think gay, lesbians, those sorts of people should have rights too. So it's almost to the point of civil war right now, is really where it's at. And this is what it looks like. Okay, so there you have red rounds and blue rounds. The red ones will be tear gas, the blue ones will be maybe concussion, or it's possibly the other way around. One of those will be for one purpose, the other one will be for the other. Since I'm not one of the pigs, I don't really know which one's which, but they probably know whether it's a pepper spray one or a baton. Pretty sure that actually I think those are all baton rounds. One of my friends got shot in the hand by one of those, and it ruined his hand. His hand will be bad for the rest of his life. Don't tase me, bro. Nice one. Did you hear that lady? She said, "Don't tase me, bro." That's great. So the Patriot Prayer people are moving this way, and that's why the law enforcement's shadowing them.
Stay back from behind the flag.
There's the commanding officers again. These guys are just field commanders, pretty sure. They might actually be lawyers. I wouldn't be surprised if they're with the Law Enforcement Lawyers Guild. Are you guys the lawyers? You look like lawyers. You are lawyers, I knew it. These guys are the guild lawyers. That's why they have a legal pad. They're the donut munchers that are also lawyers. Man, that's gotta be a weird profession. So probably they're doing legal observing to make sure that any protesters that get assault officers with their heads get held accountable.
Their heads?
That's gotta be a really weird feeling, bro. Are you a lawyer? Are you guys the lawyers? Are you legal observers?
The Antifa were the ones.
I think they're legal. I think these guys are the lawyers. Pretty much. Pretty much those are the lawyers. So they have to stay at a safe distance because you know, lawyers can't get in danger. You got to stay safe. So what we're doing right now for the folks who just tuned in is we're shadowing the Patriot Prayer, Proud Boys, Ashley, whatever, Us Two men's rights thing. And they're over there, they just entered the Portland Pioneer Square, Courthouse Square. And what's going on is Portland Police Bureau is standing in between the anti-fascists who don't want the fascists to have a place for ethnic cleansing. So there's basically a group of people who want ethnic cleansing. They don't want minorities, they don't want immigrants, they don't want any kind of religious group that's not associated with mainstream America. And so you have the people that want ethnic cleansing, they want to put little kids in cages, and then you have everybody else. So you're either with the people who want to ethnically cleanse the United States, or you're with the people who don't want to ethnically cleanse the United States. And that's the way I see this.
I feel like I'm dropping them at school. I'm gonna catch some people.
So there's a couple of medics over there. Basically what's going on is the anti-fascists are marching in one direction. The anti-fascists are being chased around by the Portland Police Bureau. And then the fascists are going in another direction, and the Portland Police Bureau is also chasing them. So the whole thing is basically revolving around Pioneer Courthouse Square, where ethnic cleansers and people who are against ethnic cleansing are not fighting because the police are standing in between them. So again, you have all dispersed out through this area anti-fascists who are trying to stop an ethnic cleansing, and then you also have fascists who want to put little children in cages. And that's basically what's going on. And they're marching in different directions, and some of them have gone off to the southeast, and then the Proud Boys, or whatever you want to call them, they're coming around this way. And then the Portland police are following around everybody, trying to stop any fights from happening. These are the heavies. So these are the guys that they're carrying full gear. They've got the elbow pads, shin pads, shoulder pads. These are the heavies. So these are the guys that'll go in actually swinging if that time comes. And hopefully that time doesn't come. It looks like it's mixed, Portland Police Bureau and Sheriff's Department. So here's the Sheriff's Department. There's the Portland Police Bureau. Got their commander. So again, you can tell the difference between a kind of the heavies and the non-heavies, because the heavies will be wearing these shin guards, and they'll also have the shoulder guards. So the non-heavies, they don't have those shin guards and shoulder guards. And these guys are also carrying zip ties. So, you know, the fact that they have zip ties, that tells you this is the arrest squad. These are the guys who are here to arrest people. really tight situation here because you have Portland Police Bureau, you have a bunch of anti-fascists and a bunch of fascists all right here crammed in this little tiny corner.
Oh no, not fireworks!
What the fuck?
Not fireworks!
Oh, pepper spray, look out. Look out. Pepper spray has been deployed. They're pepper spraying over there. Yeah, I'm not trying to get pepper sprayed. So again, for the people who are just tuning in, what's happening here is the Proud Boys and the Patriot Prayer and these sort of alt-right fascists are down here trying to assert themselves in their ethnic cleansing platform. And so they've been met with a huge showing of anti-fascists. And the anti-fascists don't want ethnic cleansing. So the ethnic cleansers are on one side of the police line, and the people who don't want ethnic cleansing are on the other side of the police line. There's the people who want to throw little children in cages, and there are the people who don't want to throw little children in cages. And more or less, that's what it comes down to.
Severely outnumbered by us today. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
there's either the ethnic cleansing people or the people who don't want ethnic cleansing.
I guess whose side these guys are on.
Yeah. You know what happened is, just a minute ago, they deployed pepper spray. And when they deployed the pepper spray, the police got it on themselves. So the police pepper sprayed themselves because they're that much of inept. They're so bad at their job, they maced themselves. I saw it, but maybe you didn't see it. So I saw it. He was like, and the wind was blowing right in his face. So they're over here trying to treat this guy that maced himself.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Except we pay his money. We pay him to do that. So if we pay these guys to mace themselves, because I'm not a fascist.
I'm not either, but I saw somebody that
If you remain in the roadway and show the intent to engage in physical resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to uses of force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalk and disperse now. This is the Portland Police Bureau. Southwest Morrison and Broadway is open to vehicular traffic. You are not allowed to block or impede traffic. You must immediately vacate the roadway and proceed to the sidewalk. This is an unpermitted march. If you enter or remain in the roadway, you may be subject to arrest for disorderly conduct, interfering with police, and other state and city offenses. you remain in the roadway and show the intent to engage in physical resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to uses of force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalk and disperse now.
So again, the police pepper sprayed themselves.
Hey, a cop called him a dumbass for no reason.
Dumbass, I said, hey, fuck you.
That sounds like cops to me.
How you doing, brother? All right, man.
Sorry.
You good? I'm good. What's that? You want to get some better on one walk and go around?
That's not too far. That's not too far to go around.
Hey, old man, you read for the fucking foot. Research.
Circumstances require, you may be subject to uses of force, including riot control agents and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalk and disperse now.
Move to the sidewalk.
All right, folks, I appreciate you taking the time to tune in. Basically, what's happening here, if you just arrived, is that there are anti-fascists in the streets. They're marching. The reason that they're marching is because there are fascists that want to ethnically cleanse the United States. So the Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys basically are here to ethnically cleanse. They want to ethnically cleanse the United States, and that's why they're here. Sadly, the cowardice media will never report it like that because they have no journalistic ethic.
Save my people. Don't let me get ethnically cleansed, please.
Yeah, brother, I'm with you. Yeah, we should. I can't believe we even have to say that. Why do we even have to say ethnic cleansing isn't okay? And why are the police protecting the people who want to ethnically cleanse the United States?
I'm just glad other people are seeing what the police do to help them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's see if we can find the lawyers again. The lawyers are hanging way back somewhere.
If you remain in the roadway and don't intend to engage in physical resistance to removal, or if emergency circumstances require, you may be subject to use of force, including riot control and impact weapons. Move to the sidewalk and disperse now.
I appreciate you guys sharing this out. Feel free and post it up to your Facebook or your Twitter feed, wherever you are. I'm here in Portland, Oregon. This is Pioneer Courthouse Square. And what's happening right now is that there are people who are interested in ethnically cleansing the United States, and they're marching in the streets. Those people who are interested in ethnically cleansing the United States are being protected by the police department right now. So the people who are against fascism are over here, and then the people who want to impose fascism are being protected by the police.
I just happen to have a mask on. I'm just looking for a bathroom.
The Portland Police Bureau is a bathroom. Actually, it's a shit house.
Is this what we say out here for today? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. They can't fill a baseball team out here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. This guy was all off by himself.
What do you mean? The numbers are dwindling. So Mars, there's.
They're not, they're just over there, and people need to get them over here. Let's deal with that fucking police. We can't sit all over there.
That's the upside and downside of anarchy.
I have agency. Thank you. Too damn close to me from like. Yeah, I'd suggest it.
So again, what's going on here for the folks who are just tuning in is that I'm down here in Portland, Oregon at Portland Pioneer Courthouse Square. And there is a large police presence. There are a bunch of anti-fascists, and there are a very small number of fascists. The Portland Police Bureau is standing between the fascists and the anti-fascists. So in essence, the Portland Police Bureau is protecting the people who are calling for ethnic cleansing in the United States. I want to be very clear about this. There are two factions. There are only two factions. There's the faction that wants ethnic cleansing, and there's the faction that doesn't want ethnic cleansing. So if you're with the people who want ethnic cleansing, we're not friends. That's the way I look at it. Here come the heavies again. So these guys are the heavies. They're the ones that have the actual serious riot gear. They're also the ones who just pepper sprayed themselves. So a couple of those police are ones that recently are pepper sprayed because they pepper sprayed themselves. Dang, it takes a lot of donuts to make that cop go. Look at the size of him. God damn. Look at his stick too. He's used that stick. You can tell it's got a bunch of wear marks on it from thwacking people.
This is the Portland Police Bureau. Those near Pioneer Courthouse Square, this is now an unlawful assembly. All persons on Pioneer Courthouse Square property must disperse by traveling away from the area. You are ordered to disperse immediately. Failure to adhere to this order may subject you to arrest or citation and may subject you to the use of riot control agents or impact weapons. You have failed to adhere to a police order. You must disperse now. Riot control agents will be used in this area. This is the Portland Police Bureau. Those near Pioneer Courthouse Square, this is now an unlawful assembly. All persons on Pioneer Courthouse Square property must disperse by traveling away from the area. You are ordered to disperse immediately. Failure to adhere to this order may subject you to arrest or citation and may subject you to the use of riot control agents or impact weapons. You have failed to adhere to a police order. You must disperse now. Riot
Keep running! Keep running, you pansies! Run! Hey, run! Go away, you pussies! Get out of here! Nobody wants you! Get the hell out of here! Go away! Go back to your mom's basement! Go get a Hot Pocket!
Hey, big standing together, fight yours. Hi, take standing together. Fuck off.
So I've decided that I'm going to follow the ethnic cleansers. For whatever reason, I decided to go and walk with these people who want to ethnically cleanse the United States. I think they do suck. The mainstream media, predatory media, is also following them. It's only like 6 or 8 people at this point, or maybe that's 10 people. Go home! Go home! Go home!
Why are you guys running?
Go home! Go home, you good for nothings! Nobody wants your kind! Go back to your mom's basement and get a Hot Pocket! Go get a Hot Pocket!
Yeah, go have fun somewhere else.
Go get a Hot Pocket, you fascist! Go get a Hot Pocket! Go get a Hot Pocket!
What's wrong with Hot Pockets?
Your mom!
We didn't say stick your head up your ass. At least we said Hot Pocket.
Keep going, fascists! Go back to your mom's basement! Go! Go away!
Keep going.
Go away! Nobody wants you here! You're ugly! You smell bad! Go away! You got KY jelly on your ass! Go away! Keep walking! Keep walking! Keep walking! Go away! Hey, easy there, easy.
Come and take it. Oh, I got it. You lost that one. You lose it. Battle 2. Battle 42. You lost both of them. Yeah, we caught you at the Portland building last year. Yeah, Battle Portland. When you got your ass stopped. Now you're going to stop again to go downtown. There's people all over the place.
Hey, give me a couple of bike squads.
All over the place.
Bodies right here. This roof coming up.
All right, let's go.
Go on, get your Hot Pocket.
Oh, they're just blocking. Yeah. They're just blocking hard. They're dogpiling for 6 minutes.
So that's what happens. The Portland Police Bureau stands between the anti-fascists and the fascists. So these people, when they go and do an ethnic cleansing on the United States, and they will do an ethnic cleansing, the Portland Police Bureau will have been the ones who stood in between. And there will be people of color who spin this story tonight. Freaking cowards. Sellouts. When ethnic cleansing happens in the US, it takes media complicity, is what it takes. Media complicity.
What are you talking about?
Media complicity.
Meaning what?
Media complicity.
What's a phrase?
If you don't understand, that's not my fault.
They already left. They've turned themselves out. It was. Damn, hot cop right there. That was a hot cop. He can arrest me. We can test out handcuffs any day. I would like to sexually harass that one.
You going back to the car soon? You gotta go back to your car soon? We have no idea.
Right here, but you know, because unfortunately, he needs to arrest the situations where he
I just volunteered to get him out of here safe. That's it. Okay? And that's it. Yeah. I'm not offensive, I'm defensive. That's why I carry med kit. Anybody get shot with pepper spray?
Yeah, a little bit.
You alright?
I got a little bit in my eye too, but
You good?
it's not irritable. So.
You want to try this milk?
No, it's fine. It's not irritating.
Oh my God, I'm a top fan of Coin6 on Facebook. I like you guys on Facebook.
Anybody hungry? Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna meal replacement. Carbs.
I was thinking of bringing my stack of pizza.
We should call Officer Johnson on that. He's busy right now.
Say you later for Wednesday.
Hey, you guys mind if I say
Well, it's nice to be able to talk without having that's the same policy. The background. The whole point of us looking at
Yeah, watch your back, Steve.
Fine.
Those people are tired and hungry too.
Yeah, they're tired and hungry. Should have brought more food and plus other shit.
I bet you guys are really tired. Holy smokes, putting on some miles. No, probably not. You probably trained for it. Oops.
Yeah, my glasses. Any chance? Anybody grab them for me? Got stiff now. And I'm not talking about.
Oh, okay. We just well, we're like you got it. Back when I was from the raised country. Yeah. Because I want to be part of this great experience, and I live to the city that has the most freedom, that expresses the most liberty, that has the most individuality. A beautiful city with a great climate and wonderful people. And I got to work for the city. I got to I get to work for the city and provide some of the greatest assets that people get to enjoy and have dialogue together. But it's getting out of hand. These Antifa people are out of control. They walk around Portland with masks on, advocating for violence, and labeling us things that we're absolutely not. I mean, I went to one rally and I was riding my back home and I got jumped by two guys in a car. They wanted to beat the living crap out of me. Thank God I could defend myself, and I did. But the whole time they're calling me a Nazi. Again, 20 years in the Marine Corps. How could I possibly be a Nazi? How could I be a fascist? How could I be a fascist since I'm by myself? If they even understood what the word fascist is, they don't understand this. Not what we do. We advocate for freedom and liberty. That's it. We just want to be able to speak our piece. And it's a shame that we have to fight for that God-given
So what's going on is down here, the Portland Police Bureau has effectively turned around the anti-fascists. So the anti-fascists were coming this way and chasing the Patriot Prayer, but the Patriot Prayer was blocked off by the Portland Police Bureau. So here you have the Portland Police Bureau still holding their line. You have a few anti-fascists down there. And then over here you have the very last of the Proud Boys, the very last of the Patriot Prayer people. And they're just kind of over here having like a little bit of a personal moment for themselves where they can kind of just do what they do, you know, talk about how they're gonna ethnically cleanse the United States is really, that's what they're not willing to say, but
Imagine hating communism and making your whole living on Patreon.
seems like it is getting quiet. It's just the very last of the hangers-oners of the pro-fascists. They're kind of sitting there having a little circle jerk is what it looks like to me.
Well, these guys used to be Gibson.
Hey, I'm Jewish, you bitch. That's not cool. That's not cool. I'm Jewish. That's hate speech. She just used hate speech, man.
She did. She's calling them out for using hate speech. We got Jewish people in our
Come on.
They're
You got twisted, dude. Sorry.
Trump is the most pro-Israeli candidate ever.
That's not anything to do with Judaism.
He's the most pro-Judaism.
coming to an end now? Are we? What's going on here?
Get in the way of a big message.
They're making money off their YouTube.
They are evil.
Each minute is a YouTube dollar. You guys should do that. You guys probably get really good video. Could get your channel monetized. You can make money for the taxpayers for once. Oops, sorry.
But what I'm saying is, quit letting them keep continuing this. Quit letting the city try to kick our own people out. Most of us live out here. Even if you live
Dang, Coin has 2 reporters on this scene. Way to go, Coin. And a private security goon.
It's a sanctuary city. It's a sanctuary city. Everyone's welcome.
Unless you're an immigrant.
Can I say something real quick? Legal immigration.
Yeah.
Legal immigration.
We have the biggest immigration system in the world.
That's right.
I'm Native American. How much Native American are you?
Elizabeth
Okay.
Warren is 1/10/24.
All right. I asked how much you were. I asked.
I have enough Native
Hey, I'm Native American, so just take it.
So I think you're full of shit.
These
I got
peop-
more than you, so you're full of shit.
These people have some anger management problems.
Oh, we do? Why don't you go talk to
Stop
Antifa about
instigating.
anger?
Just go away. We don't want anything to do with you.
About empathy? That's kind of like a magic elixir. Then why are you practicing? Hey, you don't care. You don't care.
Go home, tankies! Go home! Go home, tankies! Go home! Go home, tankies! Go home!
I don't know.
Go home, tankies! Go home!
help anything. Yeah, you can go. You can leave.
I understand just how brutally hard for me to say.
Wow, Coin has 2 cameras and a reporter and 2 security guards down here. Coin really wanted this story. Holy smokes.
Everyone's leaving. Are you going to say anything to them besides the masks? Yes. The ones who followed us 5 blocks.
I know, you guys are nice.
Yeah, let's just ignore them.
Made in America. Oh no, that one wasn't made in America. That's not made in America.
Come see me at night. Come to my window.
I'll be waiting by the light of the moon.
I'll be waiting for a night. You don't want to come to my house. I don't want to see the night. You don't want to come to my house.
No, I don't. I left trailer park or something.
Everyone, separate.
Crowd disperse!
They're going home, ladies and gentlemen. It's only like maybe 8 or 10 of them left, and it looks like they're going home. It's funny too that the mainstream media is just right embedded with them. It's almost like they want to do, I don't even know, like they want to
Oh, your bag's not zipping.
do a personal thing for them. You're all right. Hopefully I didn't lose anything too important.
Will you hold this for me real quick?
Sure. Whoa, what were you gonna do with that? Never mind, never mind.
It's just nice to have something in your hand. It's milk. You never know.
It could come in handy. It might be useful for
Glitter in your hand's
something.
better than fucking pepper spray. Believe that.
Yeah, I thought about water bottles with lube, because you can't hold a baton and hit somebody with a stick if it's covered with lube. And then the same thing with water soluble paint. Once you get that on your mask, it's kind of hard to see.
I've never read one of these things before. I'm afraid I was like, are they? Baby red? That's a red one in San Diego.
See what you guys are saying on here. There were a bunch of trolls over here before talking a whole bunch of smack. So, yeah. God, don't you trolls have anything better to do? Get out of your mom's basement.
Do you have one?
They said, I just was listening in, they're trying to walk back to their cars.
Ooh, let's follow them.
Yep, that's what they're doing.
Go find some cars, boys.
All right, guys, I'm gonna have to end this stream because most of the fascists are getting back in their cars. The other fascists are gonna take the bus home, and then they're gonna do whatever fascists do, like maybe put little babies in cages or you know, whatever they're into doing. Hating people of color, you know. Whatever fascists do, I don't know what they do.
She called
children that are in concentration camps, called them playpens.
Oh, playpens. Yeah, see?
No, I didn't. And I fucking. We protect children. We protect
Now you're lying to
children.
yourself. They're dying
We
in
protect
cages.
those children.
They're dying.
They would die outside. Dude, the fuck?
That's why we should take better care of them. Only fascists want to kill children.
No one.
You want to kill
You don't know what's
them.
going on the border.
You want to kill
You
them.
don't know what's going on the border. No, nature kills them. Disease kills them. They go out in the desert. Do you know that for the past 40 years, the border has been littered with the bodies of people crossing? When the traffickers drop them off and they die.
I don't want any.
I lived on the border for 9 years. The border is littered with the bodies. It's human traffickers.
We already
that are
bought some
killing
Amway.
them.
We already bought some Amway this month.
It's the human traffickers, the cartels.
We already bought
They
Amway
are
this
the
month.
ones
We're
who are
not
killing these people.
No solicitors.
They charge
No solicitors.
them $5,000 to $15,000 per person to bring them
Man,
to the
you're
border.
you're
and
triggered,
drop them
man.
off.
You're triggered. Calm yourself down.
No, you
De-escalate.
You don't care.
De-escalate,
about
lady.
these people. You're a
De-escalate.
liar. You're a liar.
De-escalate yourself.
Leftists are ugly liars.
De-escalate yourself.
You need to fix your teeth.
De-escalate yourself. There's some.
You and look at my teeth.
De-escalate.
All my teeth.
De-escalate.
I'm
You have
65.
problems.
Look at my great teeth.
You're incontinent, man.
I have great teeth.
So now it's down to just one lady by herself. That's crazy. Everybody else left her standing by herself. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this stream off. I appreciate you all tuning in. I really do hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will talk with you again very soon.